Welcome to the Fertility Mind podcast. I am your host, Jessica Friesen, a certified fertility mindset coach, a sound healer, and an international best-selling author. My mission for this podcast is to give you weekly episodes where you hear my own success with IVF and how mindset and manifestation changed it all for me. You will also hear from my guests who share their success stories in the fertility world. I want you to know that you are not alone. Even when things feel tough and when things feel like they aren't going your way, the tools and techniques you will get in this podcast, I know can change everything for you too. So thanks for being here with me today, and let's dive in. Hello and welcome back. Today I have a special guest with me. I've got Katie Yazik. Katie is such an amazing, incredible person and soul, and I feel so blessed that our paths have crossed and that we got to meet in person and also just get to connect while we did our coaching program alongside each other. And watching her transformation has been absolutely incredible, how she has taken mindset and manifestation and the unfolding of her goals, desires, and dreams are just evidence every single day of what the study of you and mindset and manifestation truly allows your goals, desires, and dreams to really come about. So if you will, Katie, please take it away and give us an introduction.
I would love to introduce myself. So I am Katie Yezek. I am a mindset and manifestation mentor within Kathleen Cameron's Diamond Academy team. I am a mother of two gorgeous, fun, just creative, incredible children. I have a daughter who is 10 and my son just turned 9 yesterday. I should introduce them as professional dancer and professional soccer player because this is what they're going for. And I know that they're going to do it because they've got the mindset for it. But also, I am a wife. I've been married for 18 years. We just celebrated our anniversary on the 5th. And my life has been unfolding in the most incredible, beautiful way. But in order to get here, I went through quite an intense experience. So I can share about that if you want, or
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take us back to really after the birth of my second child, Jackson. But I had postpartum depression after him. I didn't recognize it at the time, and I didn't ask for help with my husband for probably 4 years because I felt like it was my job. I was the stay-at-home mom. He needed his brain. And I became a zombie and just really, I'm a very bright, happy light, but my light was very dim. And I was looking for ways outside of my house, outside of wine to numb me, to find me again. So I found Zumba dance. And I was living in a lot of fear as well because of Jackson's food allergy and telling myself that I had to be home. I had to take care of him. Like, oh my God, he might die in daycare and these things. And it was just scary.
Yeah.
So I found Zumba and I started this incredible journey of dancing with the lights on with a bunch of different people in the room, like you're on a cruise ship with like grandma who's twerking, you know. It was the best. And it was so freeing. And these women just didn't care. It was like your inhibitions were just not there. And it was fun. And it involved no wine, you know?
Yep.
And I liked that because that's what I was looking for. Anyway, about a year in, that was helping me to get out of the anxiety and the depression. Definitely. It was slowly helping though, because it was twice a week, right? But about a year in, I injured my heel. And it was a blessing, but it was really scary. So there was this dance instructor that was next to me and she was getting it. And so I decided that I was going to get it too. Like I was really going to go hard on this dance move. Well, ended up injuring my heel and went to a doctor, a podiatrist, and because my body like went crazy, my heel blew up, and she did all kinds of tests, and it came back that I had complex regional pain syndrome in the end. She gave me medicine. I'll tell you what that is. But she gave me steroids and ibuprofen, and I was medicated for about a month. And within that time, my limbs started turning purple, my hair started falling out. I am a thin woman and I lost 15 pounds.
Wow.
Uh-huh. I had rashes all over my body. I had heart palpitations. I really thought I might die. Like purple limbs, it was just scary. God was working in my life and kept kind of in the back of my mind. It was like, I keep going. So these doctors they kept diagnosing me with different autoimmunes. They kept saying, well, you're just going to have this for forever. It's complex regional pain syndrome. You have pain in all your limbs, and I'm really sorry. It's awful, but you'll have to deal with it. I just thought, no, like, no, I'm not doing that. We're not doing this. I'm going to find someone else. So I just kept digging, and different doctors, different diagnoses. I finally ended up firing the doctors because I kept hearing that whatever from God, universe, spirit, whatever you believe in, I say God. And I hired a coach, and he started on mindfulness and meditation and food, very heavy on food, but food was my path of least resistance at the time to heal. Like I thought, yeah, that makes sense. I can control that. And so it was about 6 weeks. It was my journey with him, and it got me on the right path. But I kept seeing these other doctors sort of so I was still kind of in the in between stage of, am I fully in faith with this, or do I need these other people?
Yeah.
But when I finally let go of all the doctors, I hired this other coach, and she was all in on there's no autoimmune. The body does not attack itself. Taught Anthony Williams' method. This is what I use. Again, my path of least resistance of healing. And it was basically that I had Epstein-Barr virus. This is what I came to believe at the time, and that I could heal it through food, again, as medicine. So I went all in on that. I started seeing incredible progress. She brought in different things like mindfulness, meditation, the power of the mind, tapping, grounding, you name it. I was open. I was going to do it. So much good came from it, but there was still an underlying energy of fear around food. Did I have to eat in this box for the rest of my life in order to not have this pain? And I didn't want that. I wanted freedom. I wanted the freedom to choose if I want to eat a certain way because I love it versus I can't have that because it might kill me,
Mm-hmm.
because fear is fear. But it was all meant to happen this way because I would not have heard that the mind controls matter and that we are connected to a larger source and we could heal ourselves from anything. I needed this food journey to take me there. I know this is the long one, but I'm giving you like the full Monty. I'm giving you
I
all of
keep going. I love this.
it. Good. Okay, so I ended up listening to a Bob Proctor free course. It was a 3-day live event, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like this makes total sense. He was talking about really how the thoughts that we think make our body feel a certain way, control the energy, the chemistry in our body, and we take action as a result. And I was thinking, wow, because I had been on this journey and in all these groups where people were just talking about sickness and all this pain and all the negative things and they weren't getting out of the cycle. And I knew intuitively that it didn't feel good. So I found Bob, I found this freedom, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start like binging on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next month he had another event I signed up for, and Kathleen Cameron was on the event, and she was featured. And she's now my mentor, just so y'all know, this is who I work for now. But she was speaking right to my soul. And my soul was like, look, like, she's the one. She's going to take you to freedom. Like, and it was so weird because it's this woman who's in Canada. I didn't know anything besides this, I don't know, maybe 30-minute interview that touched my soul. And I thought, I'm going to work with her one day. Right. And I'm in
Mhm.
North Carolina, y'all, just so you know, like, so new to this, but I just knew, I intuitively felt it. So she had this YouTube and it was her and her daughters, and she was just talking about them. And I commented on it in April 2021. And I said, I will work with you. Isn't that cool? So I manifested this. So 2 months later, I signed up um, to invest in myself into one of her courses. And I had already invested, I would say probably like 15,000 into my healing at that point. And I had already, this is itted my husband a million times, you know, like, I'm going to do this. This is it. This is it. So he was over it. When I first talked to him about it, when I first saw her, he was like, well, manifest the money, you know, and I didn't have the conviction in me to say I'm worthy. So it took about 2 months for me to actually go to him and say, like, I'm doing this. It's done. And I said, do I have your support? These were the words. I said, I believe in this. Do you believe in this? And he said, I believe in you. And I was like,
Oh,
oh.
John.
And then I thought, I believe in me. You're right. Like, wait a minute. I believe in me. I've proven to myself over the last 2 years that I will show up for myself. I will do the things these mentors say. I paid attention. I did the work. I
Mhm.
went all in. And I can tell you, I am so free. I am so healthy. I love to choose what I'm eating. I decide what I want to eat. Yes, I do gravitate towards things that are high vibration that make me feel amazing. But if I want to eat a piece of cake with some wheat and egg in it, I'm going to eat it and not be afraid of it, you know? And I'm healthy and it's good. I have stepped into this new level of love, this new level of vibrancy, this new level of knowing the power that we have inside of us to create a life that is fulfilling, that is incredible, that is like everything that you could possibly desire for it to be. I'm a magnet for like just incredible experiences, amazing people like yourself. I just love you. I think you're such a light in this world.
Thank you.
You really are like an angel. Like your voice is just like, talk to me. I love you. And my abundance in all areas of life. Like if you want money, if you want travel, if you want time with your children, if you want freedom of expression, it all starts from within. It comes from understanding who we truly are, being very self aware, connecting yourself with the spiritual part of who you are, and then learning how to change that part of your intellect that was programmed and taking action from there. So I just threw up all over you a lot of goodness. So I'm not going to apologize, but like, what do you think?
Seeing people evolve
Yes.
is incredible. Like you start to understand how much power that you have within you. And so many people don't give themselves credit for. And just like my own fertility clients and things like that, like they listen to exactly what their doctor says. And I'm like, but listen to you. You don't have to be your diagnosis. And that's a really hard thing for them to hear. They're like, but I'm like, nope, you are incredibly powerful. And you have to know that and you have to believe that because otherwise it's just words if you don't believe it. But I honestly like I have goosebumps.
I
It's
was going to
just
just say that. I have chills all over my body because if I believed in the diagnoses that the doctors gave me, it's a different subject, but it's the same thing. If I had
mhm,
believed them, which I very well could have, because
yeah.
we're very suggestible when we're in a vulnerable state. And the doctors aren't meaning to hurt us. They're doing what they believe is right, what they understand, but we are so powerful
Mhm.
that they don't understand. They don't know who we truly are and what we can have.
Hmm.
So yes, you're such a light to these women because you're stopping them from believing the false evidence, the false news, that false reprogrammed consciousness that they
Hmm.
can't have what they would love.
Yeah. It's
Mm,
just, I wish people like, that's why I try and do podcasts. That's why I try and do like as much free things out there for people because it's, you know what, from someone that went on two fertility journeys and I
mhm,
didn't feel like I knew anyone. And I was like, people need to hear that there
mhm,
is so many people that have experienced miscarriage or infertility or secondary infertility and just, you know what, you can overcome
mhm.
so much.
You're a beacon of hope for other people. That's how I healed. I healed because I was listening to other people who had healed. And I
Hmm.
thought, I can relate to them.
Hmm.
If they could do it, I could do it. I'm not
Yeah.
any different than them. And that's the same for you with your clients.
Hmm. But it's all about mindset and manifestation tools to start applying right now. If you can't, pay for a mindset coach, if you can't, you know what I mean?
Hmm. Oh, no, I love it. I love because what happens is when you share your voice, you share your story, and you have a platform like this for everyone, is they begin to, this was for me, begin to see themselves in you and think, I'm going to take this small step of investing into me in my time. Time is an investment and it's huge, right? Like it's important.
Hmm.
Your time is something you can't get back.
Yeah.
So taking that first step to listen to even something like this, like pat yourself on the back because this is how I started. I absorbed all the free stuff. Um, when I when I first started, this was like before I got injured. Once I got injured, I was willing to put out the money because I thought I was going to die, like so
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I'm going to give it to the doctors. I'm going to do it this way. So, but yeah, you start small, start investing in that time, start listening and build your confidence in what you know you could do and the worthiness will come. And when you understand that this affects every little bitty part of your life and the people's lives around you, money is like, it's such a blessing to have it, to be able to invest it, but it's not up to us to figure out the how. And
Yeah.
people ask me that all the time. I don't have it. How do I get it? I want to do it. How do I do it? Well, this is how you do it. Do you want me to speak about that? Should I? Are
Yeah,
there people still outside of your?
absolutely.
You live in the end feeling, the end picture of what you would love. So whether it's health, whether it's children, whether it's an incredible relationship, you go into your imagination and you think about, how does that movie look inside of your life now that you have that thing? How do you feel every single day? Like when I was healing, my first coach had me make a list. When you're fully healed, what are you doing? And it was so fun because I was like, well, I'm running on the beach with my kids. I am taking dance lessons with my husband. I feel so free. I'm having so much fun. I'm taking those vacations that I never took because I didn't think I wanted to spend the money. Because once you hit a certain rock bottom, you realize, oh, life is short. I should do all the things, right?
Yeah.
So I had this awesome list. So you make a list of all the things and the way you're going to feel when you have that thing. And then I personally read that list every morning and every night before bed. And it's changed the chemistry in my brain. It changed the physiological structure of my body. And I literally manifested, AKA became aware of different ideas to think from. And therefore, different people came into my life, different opportunities, different ways for money to come. And it did. I put $27,000 into myself within 3 weeks investing. That's how strongly my intuition was. And we got it back within 2 months, 40 grand. Just,
Wow.
yeah, yes. And the other thing that's really cool is My husband started studying this with me because he was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I want some of that. Like, you're on another level of happy. And so he was in this kind of hamster wheel of life with just, I'm going to work this corporate job for forever. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm good at it. It's decent. I'll just retire when I'm, 57. And he's 48 now, but he started studying this with me, and his passion for real estate that's been there for a long time. It exploded. We bought 4 houses since we've done this. Yes. So we manifested 180 grand right after. How did we do it? We did it because we became aware of things that we weren't aware that we could use before. And we got out of the fear and into the faith that we could utilize that for something that we love. And now we have 7 homes.
Wow. Katie, that's amazing.
Amazing. Like, this permeated into every part of my life. We're bursting. And what I can tell you though about that is in '05 we had we had 4 properties. In '08 the whole world went to crap. The real estate market, everything crashed, and 2 of those properties went grossly underwater, like lost 50% of the value.
Wow.
And so we were in a pickle, to put it really nicely, a really looking pickle. But so we lived in a lot of fear. So after all of that, and we had to let those 2 properties go. After all of that happened, it was like, okay, well, we learned our lesson. We're done with real estate.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Like, we stopped thinking from that. We stopped watching all the fear mongering and all the things, and we learned from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we grew, and his passion was always there. He was just afraid, and it came back, and it's better than ever. Yeah.
Oh, that's so, and all of the points that you've talked about of like your awareness growing and how, I grew up with this saying, like, when you're ready, the teacher will appear. Same
Yeah.
thing. Like when your awareness is there, you come in contact with people, places, things that are going to help you grow and expand. And it just, oh, I seriously have never had so many goosebumps in a conversation.
Yeah. Me too. It's amazing. That spirit, the spirit is resonated so much with both of us, because this is the light that people need to hear. Like, yes, we go through things, really hard, scary things that feel like the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if we can learn to think, everything is always working out for me. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'm going to stay in that.
Mm-hmm.
It will work out for you. The last thing I want to share before I forget, and this just came into my mind, is what we resist persists. We know this. One of the things one of my coaches had me do that helped when I was in tremendous pain. So maybe this is regarding a health thing, maybe it's fertility, whatever it is. She had me journal for 7 days, but it ended up being something I did very often. How does this serve me? So how does the pain in all of my limbs serve me? And I just had to journal for 5 minutes a day. And at first I was like, what a jerk. It doesn't serve me. Like, how could she, and you just write out whatever you're thinking.
Yep.
And then eventually you start to get into oh, it's allowing self-care, self-love. I'm actually taking care of myself. I'm realizing life is short, and to embrace the time with my kids. And I appreciate my health now. And like, wow, I didn't realize my feet mattered. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you start to be so grateful for all the little things. And then it changes the chemistry of your body. It goes to gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anyone listening, try that. It's amazing.
Oh, this has been such a fun conversation. Oh, my heart is like bursting with happiness.
Me too. This is your first podcast, by the way.
Pardon?
This is the first podcast I've ever been on.
Well, welcome to podcasting.
Yeah. Now, in my imagination, I shall say that I have done this many a times. And so it's very natural for me. But I've definitely been interviewed live, but never on a podcast. So thank you for letting me be the
You
first time to do it.
honestly, you are so welcome. You are such a light. Um, and I just remember like our messages back and forth when you said like, I want to be on Kathleen's team. And I was like, you can do this. Like, you can so
Yes.
do this.
Yes.
And when you messaged me and said you're on Kathleen's team, I was like, oh my gosh, Katie, this is so amazing. I'm so excited for you. And honestly, like when I said at the beginning, like your growth has been exponential and
Mhm.
you were a light being to begin with. But like just I'm so serious when I say you emanate love and you emanate light. And I can see why people are like, please coach me, please teach me this,
Yeah.
because you are an absolute like love being in this world.
Oh, thank
And
you. I feel the same way about you. I want to say one last thing. I know I said it was one last thing, but this is one really last thing. This is so good. Just came.
yeah,
I didn't get on her team until I decided that I was going to be okay, whether I was on her team or not.
yeah.
I had to let go of the outcome
Hmm.
because when we feel like we have to have something in order to be whole,
Yeah.
we are manifesting the lack of having the thing. So when I decided I'm good enough without being on the team, I'm going to do my own thing. It's like I can do this. They asked me to be on the team 3 days later. So that's huge in manifestation. So if you
Hmm.
can detach from the outcome and know that you're whole regardless, you trust, you have faith in the journey, it will come. What is meant to be will happen. Yes.
Honestly, it has been such a pleasure to have you here. It is so nice to hear your story. It's so nice to see like how far you've evolved and the faith that you cultivated
Mhm.
just because, you know what, I think it's amazing to talk about the contrast that something happened. I know Kathleen shares her story about like how she had to have emergency lung surgery. All things that people just think like, well, no, like it's a coincidence or it's other things that they want to say. But even these things, what did they teach you? Because it like being on a fertility journey, I can honestly say I grew a voice and I grew
Yeah.
strength and I
Mhm.
grew a passion and a mission. No, I don't wish fertility journeys on anyone, but
Right.
it's what you can cultivate from your experience and what
Mhm.
you can turn darkness into light is so powerful. And your journey is beautiful. And like just the fact that you're here and the fact that you teach and the fact that you do so much, I'm just like, oh, Katie, I'm proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I have chills all over. I love you, my friend. Thank you
I
for
love you
having
too.
me. Thank you for serving the world the way that you do. You are just so important to me and to everyone else. And I love you.
Thank you. And I love you too. I want to express my deepest gratitude for you tuning in with me today. I am proud of you and I am sending you so much love. I want you to remember that you hold incredible strength and power within you. If this episode resonated with you, or you know anyone that would benefit from hearing, please share. And if you haven't done so already, head over to Spotify or Apple and please leave a rating and a review. In love and light, Jessica.